the chat box. She can't talk.
Oh, she can't talk. She can't talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll need to hear her so much. So we have Ben Oko.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Ben Oko. I work with Amani Kibera, and I'm following from Kibera. Thank you for the invitation.
Welcome, Ben. Welcome from Amani Kibera. Did I forget Cleopa?
Hello, Rapudo and everyone else. My name is Cleopa Otieno. I work with Kenya Flying Labs. We work with drones a lot. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, let me admit also. Thank you, Cleopa. Cleopa is tell us more about what they do in on issues of flying up. So we have David Otieno. David, welcome.
Yeah, sorry, let me quickly introduce myself. Just also put a video. Good morning for me here. I'm in New York, and good afternoon, colleagues who are in Nairobi. Thank you for inviting me to this meeting. My name is David Otieno. I am from Sigomore, but I do live in the United States. I have background in IT technology. I've been working for the UN, and mostly what I do right now is to work with the youth and kids also to kind of realign a leadership style that emphasizes on, I would say, mindset reset and also abundance and just doing things differently, looking into what is happening now, the jobs of the 21st century, as well as kind of building self-confidence and self-worth in kids. Just shared my handle there. That's my digital footprint. My Twitter link is Bimwia. If you have time, you could go there and link with me, connect with me. And also, if you have time, you can check some of my links so you can share the digital currency and get to know each other. Thank you for the opportunity.
Welcome, David. Thank you for your introduction. Maurice Muli. Maurice Muli. I'm hearing some noise. I'm hearing some noise from the background. Okay, Maurice Muli. Okay, we can move to Mfalme.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rapudo Nyango. Personally, I am in the IT field also, lecturing, I do supervision of students. I'm a cuckoo farmer in the village, but I also like working with the youth. Thanks. As we move on along together, I know we shall know each other more and more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I believe that we have other people coming in. We have Joel. We have, there's an apology from Lumumba, who is the Membership and Outreach Committee Chair. We're waiting for Dr. Richard Omolo to join us. And also we are waiting for Dr. Collins Odwar to also join us, who is the chair of Kijiji and also works at the USIU. So basically, without wasting a lot of time, allow me to share my screen so that I can start taking you through what has brought us here. maybe if someone has something he wants to share, maybe they can share, so that if there's something general that you want to share and you feel that you maybe have not said it in a good way, maybe you can share so that people can get to know you better. Anybody? Okay.
Howie, we can't hear you. I think most likely you are muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Howie. True.
Sorry, I'm muted, Polly. Okay, Dr. Collins, welcome, Dr.
Thank you very much, Howie. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late a little bit.
And people have introduced themselves. It's important to introduce yourself so that people can know it. Maybe some people know you, some people do not know you also yet.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Again, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Collins Odwar. I teach at USIU Africa, and I'm also doubling up as the Kijiji 2 chairman of the Kijiji 2 Society. Thank you very much, and I welcome you all to this meeting.
Thank you, Dr. and thank you, Chair. I think we are moving on. So I started by looking at the first slide. I believe everybody is able to see. If you're not able to see, please raise your voice so that it's clear. So in this project, we're talking about two processes. We're talking about a process where we are bringing the Internet Society, which is the key organization in this process. And we are Internet Society, we have the Internet Global that is having a community week right now. It's happening also right now online. And in this process, we're working together with Kijiji, which is a non-profit smart village ecosystem that is centered on sustainability or sustainable development, looking at aspects of devolution, which is under the County Government Act. And also we are looking at the aspect of citizens creating and transforming sustainable development models through digital transformation, inclusion, and literacy. So that is basically the first page. Now, on the second page, now we are looking at this, we're talking about villages being located within this map. And in this map, you can see the map of Kenya. So in the villages that we are talking about, before I can come back to the map, let me look at the objective. The objective of this is to promote content delivery through trainer practitioner model, and have webinars demonstrating benefit of internet networking and power of technology. So the Internet Society has certain goals that they want to achieve. One, they're looking at internet as a way of life. They're looking at measuring the internet, and even some of the members are here. We're looking at different aspects. So for this project, we are looking at internet networking and the power of technology in our life. So basically this meeting, which is to agree and plan around all Linksys digital village training webinars at various places. So the output that we are looking at here, we are talking about having at the end of this is to have a training guide and the aspects that we're going to do to ensure that with the webinars, we're going to look at issues of digital security, internet governance, smart villages, community networks, internet shutdown, research, emotional intelligence. And this content might differ from one location to the next. So also in this process, we are talking about, the issues that we are going to capture, especially in the webinars, we're going to have them put in a platform, and the platform will be found within the website. And then these webinars will have needs, and some of the, sorry for this, but some of the needs will have, we're talking about what do we need for these webinars? Do we need to have speakers? Do we need to have participants? What is the communication strategy? So you're talking about the Zoom, that now that we have a Zoom, are we going to have an hybrid system? Because those ones that can have an hybrid system. And who are the partners that want to join us in this process? So basically this is the brief, and I put it as brief as that so that I don't complicate it with a lot of words, so that you can be able to contribute into this. So that is my brief for now. So Dr. Collins, I cannot be the one presenting and also chairing. So you can help us on the chairing of the sessions so that you can be able to moderate this session very easily. Dr.
Thank you very much, Howie. Thank you very much.
So what we have now, I've already presented. So in the issues that maybe we can discuss through and look at this and maybe understand this process clearly before we talk about what you want to do. Thank you, Dr. Back to you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think, thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much, Howie, for sharing with us the overview of the project. So you're going to look at a particular model in this case and having this smart village concept. I think Kijiji is embedded completely in this smart village concept. And we are very happy and keen to work with the Internet Society of Kenya to bring this into a reality, the Kijiji concept. So maybe it's now open to the gallery. You can take some few questions, some comments, and what we can use to make it more clear. Kindly, any comments, question to make it more clear? Yes, Albert, go ahead.
I think for me, might just be not really a question, but maybe now as just to know exactly how we're going to roll out. But I'm sure that one will come as the presentation goes by. But so far, for me, it's clear.
Thank you very much, Albert. Thank you, Albert. There's David. David Otieno, your hand is up.
Yes, my hand is up, Collins. Thank you. I wanted to actually just give a comment. Yeah, thank you so much, Avi, for that quick brief. And also, I'm happy that we do have this discussion or this conversation going on internet as a way of life. I think that is really great. I was just actually thinking through while you were talking, and certain aspect of this came into my mind. So for me, I do see normally internet as some kind or some form of a road, and I think everybody is probably aware about that. So there are certain things that definitely would be an issue sometimes, and that is how wide is that road. I think in IT we call that bandwidth, and what is the quality of that road. I think also in IT we call that quality of service. So so for really to make it work, I want us to look into those aspects as well, maybe, and also just look into, like a road, you need a transport system. I'm sure, like also in an internet, you have to have some form of a system to be productive. Like a road, you have a product, you have to have products, you have to have vehicles, you have to have matatus or those kind of stuff to attract productivity. So also maybe in the internet, we have to figure out what are the products we're using. I think one of the products we are talking about here might be internet, might be Twitter mostly. Um, and also in a road, you need activities, and what are some of these activities that we need to include? So those are the things that was coming into my mind as Harvey was speaking. Thank you. I yield back to you.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. Maybe any other comment, question? Cleopa, you're here. Any comments?
Yes, Collins, I'm here. I'm just following.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a comment at the moment, but I'm following. I'm taking some notes.
Okay.
I'm also trying to find out, because we are trying to, everybody is doing something, and we are trying to find out where you can fit, because that is the presentation, and everybody is doing something before we talk about the webinar. And I thank David for that response in terms of looking at the bandwidth and looking at the quality of what you're talking about, and where our villages are at the moment in terms of technology. But I know there are people here who are representing different communities, and these communities that you're representing may be also affected in a way, especially how can it fit? If you're like Clopa, you're working on issues of drones. What do the drones mean for villages? So that we can just have a discussion before we move now to the nitty-gritty.
Okay. Yeah, so Kenya Flying Labs is a drone operator. We try to widen it by looking at other robotics, because drones are just robots that are helping us do certain things in agriculture, in infrastructure inspection, among other things, mapping and survey, etc. And what can happen from my end? Currently, there's a project that we are working on in Nairobi for traffic management, and traffic management is, affiliated to smart cities, because if we have smoothly flowing traffic, then it means that the city is becoming smarter. Drivers are more aware. There is technology that is trying to make this happen. From a village perspective, because I think some of these projects could happen in villages, and one of the one of the participants here has mentioned something about kids, and this is something that I am quite passionate about. We can work with children in schools to introduce robotics programs, to start, showing them what these things are and how they can use them in education, because there are programs that can help you code, for instance, drones to do different things. There are those toy drones that can be programmed to do different things. And the programming involved is very simple, and kids can do these on their own to help them make different maneuvers. And as they do this, they learn math, they learn generally about STEM. But more broadly also, drones are very useful in, say, agriculture. If you're looking at smart cities, I think food is an aspect to some extent. And one way is to support farmers to make more informed decisions by collecting data from farms, using multispectral sensors, analyzing this, and pointing farmers to the needs within their farms, things that they can do to improve productivity. These could be minerals, these could be water, among other things. They could be pests and diseases that we cannot see, but these sensors can actually point them out. So it's a bit broad, and as we continue these discussions, perhaps we can find ways that Kenya Flying Labs can participate. But these are my initial thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cleopa. Thank you very much. Athena? Athena, you have something? Unmute. Ben? So maybe for Rapudo, you want to highlight something?
Yes, I think it's important to, I know Athena is away where she is, she cannot, that's why she's typing.
Okay, there's Ben, I want to talk.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello. So me on my part, I come from the wellness background. Yes. So I'll be very interested to see how we can link emotional intelligence, especially when it comes to smart villages, keeping in mind that we need to remember that we can't forget the people, how you take care of yourself and how you relate well with people. So even as much as you'll be handling technical issues, you have to remember the person, and that the person exists in a community, and that this person also needs to have some time out to to refuel himself or herself. So me, I'll come in and address the wellness wing through emotional intelligence and maybe any other area that need be.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We shall appreciate that. But actually, in our initial idea, we are also happy with the support we're getting from Internet Society. We are one of the things we're talking about was actually health. How you can digitize health, especially where we come from, our local Kenya villages and maybe from Siaya, Nyanza region, where most of us come from, is the real problem. So we also think of bringing maybe these medical advices, safety precaution, public health matters, telling people, just an awareness kind of system that is talking. So we are going to work with the health very, very closely. And agriculture, as Cleopa has mentioned, is also one of the key. Actually, a few minutes ago, I was just reading it was some kind of a funny video, but I realized this guy was speaking a message. I don't know if you can allow me to play for you here.
Yes, I can give you the host so that you can play it.
Okay.
Let me make you the host.
Okay, so this video was shared on. Yeah, this video was shared on WhatsApp. Let me see. Yeah, it's here.
I've made you the host so you can share. Enoch, welcome. Welcome so much.
Thank you.
Sorry. Let me share it again. Participants as host. Make me host kidogo again. Okay. So this video I was watching it just sent some few minutes ago. It was looking as okay. Let me start playing it.
Ne jo Ugenya duto, jo Sigomre, Ugunja, to gi Ugenya. Antiere gweng'wa ne daraja ni kikala Sango kichomo Masiro. Akwayo ni mondo awuothe gweng'u ka tayudo ka jodala ok pur. Mon odong' ka muti maonge teko, yudhe olal ka pango. The lands are just empty. Onge ng'ama puro. Ka in Nairobi, bwase pesa mar kong'ono, orne jodala gi dayo madala cha. Opure, oyud gimichamogo. Kik ulal town, to mine wathagore malich kamae. Jo Ugenya duto.
Okay, so it was sent on WhatsApp, on Facebook actually a few minutes ago. So this also calls, and that's something I was thinking. Another friend of mine from Central Kenya today was still asking about how we are not utilizing the lake very much, and there's a lot of water and all that. So I think also this small-scale subsistence farming, maybe giving them the opportunity how to farm. Maybe people would not know maybe how to do that. So we thought we could provide that smart village concept, having hubs where people can come in and learn a few things, even just how to plant sukuma wiki, so that the village become more digital, some kind of thing. I think Clep also is a friend of ours. You took us to one of your friends some time back, who was also dealing with some agricultural hubs in Central Kenya. Is it? Maybe Clep, I remember that. Clepa is not there.
Clepa is there. I think.
Okay, so I think agriculture, education, and health, I think, are very key components of Kijiji. They're really going to dwell on that, especially the ICT solutions, especially on the knowledge dissemination and capacity building using ICT. So I think that's going to be the central part of Kijiji. So we shall welcome all efforts towards this, and especially the use of the internet being the central part of making the village very smart. Any other comment, question? Welcome, Professor Richard.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay. Richard, welcome.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for logging in late. Thank you for the welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so any other comment, question? So maybe Internet Society can also tell us something in relation to this overview, Internet Society.
I think I'll not speak much because we have Dr. Richard and we have Albert and we have Athena, and I know Joel will be able to join us. So that we can hear also the voice from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I was actually talking on the Kijiji side. So we are, as I said, for the sake of Richard who is coming in, on Kijiji, we are very keen on having the ICT as a central component in making the village very smart, because all of us, we belong to a village, and maybe you have come to centers to look for survival, but at the end of the day, we shall all go back and die from the village. So we have to make a lot of stakeholder engagements. And I know the area where you come from, in Nyanza in general, there are issues which are very similar to us, like the agriculture, health issues, education matters. And Kijiji comes in that gap of information dissemination. So you've been thinking of having some centralized systems, having of centralized ICT hubs like agriculture, somewhere people can come in, having a platform and people to share information about agricultural opportunities, how to plant. Now the in thing is also climate change, also coming in, which has affected us very much. So farmers are now getting low produce or low crops because the climate change is also there. So that thing can also educate our people there about climate change based on the patterns that is there, so they don't get into challenges with because of climate change. We're also going to come into that. Yeah, so I think that is the whole concept about Kijiji. We have done some few projects, and we are looking forward to working with the internet society so that we can scale up, at least have some few hubs, ICT hubs where villages can get in. We are going to work, we're also developing some few systems like health, agricultural information awareness, water pollution, climate change, an app we are doing now today, website and app about climate change advisory system, which I know will be able to help the small scale farmers in the rural areas. Okay. So that is something about.
Hi, Howie.
Yes. Hi, Athena.
Hi, you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. I had posted on the chat. I have been following closely. It's just that I was in a place I couldn't speak, and I'm actually stepping into another place I can't speak. But I wanted to appreciate what Dennis had said. I think it was Dennis about the human aspect of technology and mental well-being. And also point out that I had also put on the chat that I'd like to come from the legal aspect of it, because we know that technology is constantly being regulated, and we need to know how much leeway we have as per the law, locally and internationally, and also on the safety skills, that is digital etiquette, responsible citizenship, and also how to deal with various crimes and even forms of abuse when interacting with different technology, because it's something that is also rampant even among the adults. So basically that's my area, and I look forward to working with the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Collins is here because the one who's been chairing. So you can reach out to Joel is already here. Enoch is also here so that they can have their brief, and also Dr. Molo and also any other person.
Howie, I can say something. I know I just woke up in the morning and
Yes,
I'm
yes.
about to start my day, so I can say something and then let you guys continue if that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay, David. Welcome.
Thank you, Collins, for the opportunity, and also let me acknowledge Dr. Richard. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate the time. I know you're a very busy man. I really love the idea of engagement. I love the idea of empowerment and involving the community and the youth and the children. I think me and Howie, we have been participating in one of the events, and one observation I wanted to share is I did not see the youth in that conversation. I know when we say youth, we talk about people between 18 and 35, especially from our African region. There were very few. I know we have really prominent activists, Vanessa from Uganda. We also have a lady, I think I saw she did a really good job, Evelyn. I think she's from, I think, is it Nairobi, but maybe Embu. You know, this youth, when I see them come out, and come out boldly. That really makes me feel the future is bright. So what I want us to think through as we are talking about this initiative is how do we grow such kind of personality and character where you can come out boldly and you believe this is what I want to do, and then you go to the community and make change. So that's what we can thrive to achieve. So if we have people like that in Asango, when you talked about that bridge, I
Yes, yes.
just resonated with it because my dad used to teach in a school called Kirindi. My dad was a teacher, head teacher. That is between that road, that bridge. I know now. I saw it looks like they made it looks good, but before it was terrible. It was a dangerous bridge. So when you say that, it really resonates with me. As a human being, I was born in Sigomore. I went to Uganda Primary School. So you can imagine, like village, 100%. And I don't know how you call it. There's a name they give it, but I'm village. And then later I went to St. Mary. So this kind of things that we are talking about is the only way we can change our communities, empowering the youth, giving them the voice, and also guiding them. Because if you have youth that are empowered and we guide them so that they touch the right buttons, they push the right buttons, so that the government can hear, so that the donor community can hear, so that the world can hear them, then we'll bring change to our area. I wanted to add that. So we're very grateful for Howie, very grateful for Dr. Richard and everybody else here. And we are still working with Howie. There is a concept that we are building. It's called Sustainable Good Life. It's more of working with a global organization, and we'll see how that goes in. But if you already have a system in the ground that is working, which is around empowerment, which is around leadership styles that thinks about abundance, that things exist. You don't want to think, I was about to say it in Kijalu. I hope there is all of you are Kijalus here. But let me just continue in English just to be fair with everybody. I was just about to say that the things that we will make us really grow out of the trauma that we have. I mean, there's a lot of confusion that has gone on in the last years. There's colonialism, there is, the style of leadership, how you are brought up, it's more top down. So sometimes our kids, they fear to face the truth. And we need to figure out how do we help them understand themselves and go out boldly and really be part of the community, which is productivity, which is just being a warrior. If we can have several Mandelas, if we can have several um, Patrice Lumumba, if we can have several Sankaras or even Patrice Lumumba, and then that is the only way we can change the community. And there is nothing we don't have. Everything that you see in the world started by somebody putting a seed. They just started with maybe $100. Facebook was started in somebody's garage. Now it is $1 billion. So if we can really think of enterprises like that, where we start small, but we make sure that they can grow, they can be sustained, and finally they can be things that can be scaled out, then we can grow our community. That is the comment I have. And again, I know initially I'd kind of given an example of the use of internet and what can be the products that we can use for the youth. Maybe Twitter for the if you use the youth to reach the old, that's another way. or if you just have barazas. I know all time it was barazas, that's another way. Then we have several other products we can use, Facebook. And don't also be shy. If you feel you can develop your own social media, then go for it. So those are the few things I wanted to share. Again, thank you. Here is all around almost 8 o'clock. I normally start my work around this time, so I'll stay a little bit for a few minutes and then just disappear or just exit. Thank you so much. I yield the mic back to you, Harry.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, thank you very much. We're so grateful for your input and also being with us. We shall work with you in this project for your input. Thank you. Harvey, back to you.
Asante sana. There are people who have joined, and it's important to take note of them. Ben is here. He has not said Enoch. Enoch is also here. There is also Kayala.
I know Joel has been off and on.
Yes,
but
there is also K.
Yeah.
Yes, there is KL. Joel is back here. We'll be able to get him. And I've seen he's joined. I don't know if the problem. I think Ben is also having challenges. But let's have a sequence so that we can hear from people. We have Dr. Richard Omolo is also here. So how do you want us to go, Dr.? Maybe you can also help us so that we can.
Okay, let's have Dr. Richard Omolo. Now he has gotten some brief about this. Dr. Richard, and how inter-society can come in.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. and members of this important meeting. Sorry, I'm late. I was just concluding some activity that delayed me, but thanks for the welcome. I also echo the same. I've listened briefly from previous speakers, got a lot of inspiration from their contribution. And of course, I've also got the gist of Kijiji from our secretary, Howie. And I think it's a noble initiative that we need to give a lot of support to it. It is true, we draw a route from the village. In fact, when we talk about village, even urban areas, we have villages, but we can actually rank villages based on opportunities that are available. And in fact, now things are fairly improving because the so-called villages that used to lack a lot of opportunities are now getting opportunity activated. And this actually has been supported by technology. Technology has really disrupt ways of conducting businesses. And there are a lot of stuff. Now we can easily deploy digital villages and hubs within rural areas, which for a long time has registered a lot of movement out of these disadvantaged areas. And to some extent, we found ourselves cultivating some allergy towards the rural areas because of lack of opportunities that we may identify with. So I think the Kijiji Yetu initiative is quite a noble idea because one is the name itself is resonating with our ownership because it's Kijiji Yetu in Kiswahili, it's ours. So how can we qualify it being ours? By mobilizing our experiences that we have got from various environment, and then we translate it for the betterment of the village. So it's quite a good initiative, and some of the requirement for mounting technology in the villages now has improved because the last mile initiative that the government has has fronted, has enabled electrical power to penetrate even areas that were initially classified as remote. So I think we have all the advantage, and also with the telco networks that are able to reach even areas that used to experience weak signals. These are opportunities that can really enable this initiative to roll pretty fast. So I find myself privileged to be part of this group so that we can be able to assemble ourselves, be able to mobilize our experiences and our energy so that we can be able to elevate our society. That is when we'll actually make the philosophy of which Kijiji is premised on, that we make it ours. We make it an environment that we can be able to identify with. And also, for those who have been around for a while, you know that Africa has been largely relying on agriculture, especially even the country Kenya is relying on agriculture. But also agriculture has been affected by climate change that has been experienced over a period of time now. So what can actually revert it, that can enable food security to be activated as one of the sustainable development goals, is that we can use technology to activate, because food technology can benefit from various advancements that can be fronted by technology, either in automation, management of information, providing this on making support system, and also be able to tap into the lying energy that belong majorly with the youth. I know with the time, we shall actually be able to roll formal literacy, even penetrating areas that are considered to be remote. In fact, with the government actually being on the forefront to ensure that there is a 100% transition, is actually signaling that in a few time, everybody shall have acquired the adequate literacy. So now what next? These are the kind of initiatives that can actually be able to join hand with the government to enable youth who has been exposed to literacy opportunity to now translate them into useful living by participating in activities that initially used to be isolated from technology, like agriculture, energy, and they'll be actually be able to be part and parcel of a peaceful community. So I think this particular initiative can take us a long way, even beyond our time. And we just need to benefit from our experiences, our knowledge, our skills, because it's actually drawn from, membership is drawn from people from diverse areas of concentration. So I also echo the previous speakers who have provided inspiring contribution towards this particular initiative, the little time that I was able to log in and listen. Otherwise, I know we still continue engaging ourselves, but I actually impress upon each and every member that we need to be a little bit aggressive, because there is need that can actually be addressed by this kind of initiative. There are a lot of remedies that are necessary in our society that can actually be of beneficial to our living, because like now, long time ago, we used to have migration towards the urban areas because of opportunities that are there. But now most people are actually realizing that the urban area is actually getting overwhelmed, and people prefer going to the rural areas. So such kind of initiative can actually give people alternative that even if they're able to transfer to the rural areas, then they'll still be able to continue with their usual living. And even those who are upcoming, they'll actually be able to see little difference in terms of where they are, because technology will be at their doorstep. and you'll be able to support whatever that they have in mind. Otherwise, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Prof, for this opportunity. Thank you, SG, and everybody who is on board. I think we can do it. We just make it as a priority that we can be able to front this. And I also know that with Eyes of Kenya, we shall actually be able to find a working partnership that can enable this initiative to go to a higher level. Otherwise, thank you so much, Chair, for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad to be here. That is a little that I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chair.
Dr. Collins. Okay, I know Dr. Collins may be as challenged, but thank you so much, Dr. Richard. You are the person.
Sorry.
Okay, you can proceed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richard, for that elaborate information. We are so grateful for your support and the comments you have given us, which are factored in with a lot of seriousness. Thank you very much. So now I think we are still on Internet Society. Any other member from the Internet Society? It's your chance again.
Joel is here and is one of the executive members of the Internet Society. So
okay, Joel
Komoli.
Joel, now this is your time. We are now at a tease to listen to you. Alert or a tease. Joel, welcome.
We're at alert.
Alert, yeah. welcome.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well.
Very well.
Yeah, sorry again for coming on late. I've also been on the road and the network has been terrible this side. We just want to say two things briefly, because I believe Howie has given us a full brief. Assuming Howie, you have spoken already.
Yes, I've already spoken, but I can, for those ones who join late, I can still repeat. Thank you.
Yeah, kindly. Yeah, but I think as the Internet Society, it is defend and extend the internet. It is never a finished job, especially in the rural areas, because a lot of people appear to be covered, but when you go deeper, you find they miss out on a lot of services which would otherwise change their lives or even improve, relations, whether at school or in their workplace and so on. The project me had proposed to do was to visit one of the ICT hubs, an innovation center in our constituency. And the whole idea was revolving around the internet governance and go further, of course, and open that window for training for the youth, for the young people. Because you realize after school, these guys are around and basically idling. Some have no idea. And even for those who are able to go to college, when they come home, they have nowhere to practice their skills. So my idea is to get these guys occupied, enroll in the ICT courses that are available on the Internet Society portal. And alongside that, also acquire some life skills. We have a few volunteers who are able to train, but due to lack of quorum, they also stay with those skills. I've seen a project in Kisumu where young people meet every evening. I don't know, George is not here with us, but he's among those who proposed for the BOLT program. And so what that program does is that the young people come for training, they engage in physical fitness, they also continue going to school, but at some point they're able to apply for scholarships. Sports scholarships have huge potential for the young people. And if this is a club and a young person is absorbed somewhere in one of the teams in Canada or Australia or wherever they go, they are actually able to inspire their colleagues back home. And yeah, I thought that was an important starting point. Although the angle we are taking in Bungoma and the Busia is not really sports, with time it might also fit in. But for a start and for the Kijiji project, we want to get a few people, to get a few youth involved, and have them carry this message to their villages, so that through the few trainees we're able to extend the network, we're able to have some TOTs, because I also frequent the village over some time, maybe 3-4 months, we should be able to have a fully or well-trained young people who become now peers, their fellows within the village. And since there's a movement, you expect movement, at different times they will go out to school and others will come back and so on. This changeover is something that we also want to agree how to manage, so that the program is continuous post the implementation period. The program continues to run and it continues to grow. The other site we intend to visit is one of the schools where we also have an ICT project. And in this school, I intend to do a 2-hour session with them. And I know that Athena is joining me in this program, Athena Morgan. So that way we'll be able to maybe use the Zoom link also on that day, so that she can have a conversation with these students. They can ask questions. Those who want to become lawyers, they might be interested to ask her 1 or 2 questions, and she will give them an idea. If you want to do law, where do you start? I'm just in Form 2 or Form 3. How do I improve my chances of taking law at the university? So I thinking that is an important step. I will also be able to do a second session with a different professional, trying to get a doctor from Busia who can talk to the students, so that when they interact with these professionals, people who have trained, people who have been to school and they have trained for long periods of time, now they're working in the field, they can explain the divide. Now you're a student, tomorrow you're not. But what happens in between? What effort do you have to put in? So I believe that kind of talk will guide the young minds. It will also give them hope and bring in an angle of utilizing the internet for the other stuff that you can't do. I'm hoping the doctor will also be able to speak and elaborate how the internet is useful or improving their work, something Atana will be able to do as well. So that is the kind of direction that we want to, really a simple project, but for which we want to see the impact. And I know that I will have to go through this recording to see what the others have proposed to do. In my discussion with Harry, I know that there are a lot of things that we want to see happening in the villages, but leveraging on technology. So we see if it is a small business that people are doing, how can they use technology to expand that business and so on. So let me stop there, and probably with the direction or guidance, I might be able to come back later again. Thank you very much.
Can I ask a question before I leave?
Yes, you can ask Daud.
Thank you very much, Joel, for that information. Thank you very much, Joel. Okay, David, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Enoch. Was it Enoch who was presenting? No, Joel. Thank you, Joel, for the presentation. Really appreciate that insight. I wanted to ask the internet society, the internet community, what plans they have for our schools. because I think one thing that we can think about, actually, I'm thinking schools and churches. One thing that could happen is if the schools have access to internet, then it's easy. It's kind of maybe easy to have this kind of community where people can come in. I'm actually thinking even up to the primary school level, if there is plans to make sure that the primary schools have internet access. There are a lot of people here who are alumni who definitely would like to help even bring something like this to a primary school center. If they have internet there, then you can imagine we could just get one building and turn it into a place where people can come and learn, and even maybe bring library, bring a library there or something like that. One computer, some library, and then kids can be organized to go there over the weekend or even after school to learn. So I'm really keen to understand what are the plans. Sorry, I'm asking this because I don't know, but I just wanted to understand if there are plans to bring internet to the school. I know they have plans for power to the school, but I wanted to understand if there is also internet being sent to school as a last mile. Thank you.
I don't
Thank you very
know.
much.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Rapura. Thank you,
Saying
Daniel.
that I don't know. David is asking a very important question, but we have professionals in this room, so I don't want to assume that I'm a professional. So I'll let it for the professional, Joel and Dr. Richard and Dr. and Prof also Collins to help us on that. But also there are people also that I believe that in this room that we need to also to hear their voice. That is Enoch, who heads the Youth Parliament, and also Ben Ooko, who are working in informal settlements in Nairobi. Thank you.
So, hello, how can I now say something?
Yes, Enoch.
Thank you, Howie, and G2 team, as well as Internet Society, and all of us present here from different diverse sectors, backgrounds, and professions. It's a pleasure to join this team in making contributions towards how best we can improve our communities and from the villages level, and how best we can ensure that future generations will credit the current generation for giving a roadmap as well as the background of a future that they hopefully they'll enjoy. My name is Enoch. I coordinate the activities of the Youth Parliament movement. The Youth Parliament movement started in Ugunja, and we have the Ugunja Youth Parliament existing. But currently, the movement has grown to other communities outside Siaya County. In Siaya County, we have a youth parliament in Bondo, we have a youth parliament in Alego, Usonga. We also have a youth parliament in a ladies only parliament called Usika Dada, just to raise the voices of young girls. We have similar platforms in Homa Bay, that is Mfangano and Mbita. Another platform is currently being established in Rachuonyo, Dewa, as well as in Kuria, a place called Kehancha. And the movement has also grown into, been developed in Narok as well as Kajiado. So the movement is a platform that gives the youth the voice to speak on governance issues through social accountability and advocacy mechanisms. And that is how best we think the voices of the young people in the villages can be improved so that they can ignite change both social, economic, and political change in their communities. And the advocacy targets policy and also budgetary issues. The Kijiji as a platform is a good initiative that is meant to improve the voices of our communities, especially with regard to improving all sectors of our livelihood. I'm glad the video that was shared, I think, by, was it Collins? The guy was on top of the bridge and lamenting on how the elite have run away from the villages. And it's time to look back and see how the elite, especially from our major towns, can share some of their budgets to support older women in the community who are currently involved in subsistence farming. Research in agriculture is showing that the mean age of persons involved in agriculture has continuously grown to over 40 years, sometimes 50. It means most young people are not involved in agriculture, and this is a worrying trend because we are not building a future that will be sustainable or will be food secure. And agribusiness concept currently is showing that farming done with the concept of business will bring a lot more to families, not only on subsistence product, but also acquisition of other capital to supplement other needs that are not able to be produced locally. So I think it's time to come back home. It's time to revisit our aspirations on investing, not only landmark buildings, but also in the energy as well as experiences that we've gathered across the place that we've gone to, and inject this experience to the local communities so that they can be equally empowered to manage their own affairs. Experience has also taught us that when we have internal conflicts as a country, communities that are less food secure suffer more, and communities that are less protected in terms of the social structure also suffer more. Therefore, we need to build on such experiences and ensure that our communities at the local level are able to be sustainable all throughout the year, regardless of circumstances that come up. And as we also, my feeling is also, as we raise the capital sensitivity in terms of resources and all that, there's a lot of ignorance on issues of governance, a lot of ignorance on issues of building capital base, a lot of ignorance on issues of resources and policies, both local and national level. And this is most prominently appearing during election period like this. So as we empower our communities, we also need to ensure that we do a lot of political and civic education, and we ensure that they tap into the resources and the leadership that are meant to correct the ills that have been there for ages. I'm almost a full-time resident of the village, and the things happening here are things that are worth attending to, that are worth collecting voices and energies to address, and I'm glad to be part of this platform. Youth Parliament movement, David has just left, but he raised something on the context of how do we ensure the community voice, especially of the youth, are raised to attack issues that can be able to support them. And I think it's important that we'll not only target the youth, we'll target all cadres of the community so that we are able to raise everyone's awareness on these issues. Otherwise, I'm glad to be part of this platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you very much for your insights on this. Thank you very much. Enoch, sorry. Okay. Ben, you want to say something? Ben, Albert, or Apuda, you want to contribute on both Enoch and Joel's contribution?
Okay, thank you. Ben I've just been chatting with Ben. Ben Oko works with a lot with within the informal settlements with the communities, trying to transform them, trying to engage them on issues of social, economic issues, and is part of this process where it's supposed to help us to reach out to people in Mukuru, people in Kibera, people in Kawangware, and many other informal settlements. So that during the global encryption day was very instrumental into the process, and we were able to reach out to different people. So Gilead is telling me that this phone has a challenge, but it's keen in being part of us. So in terms of the way forward, I think we need to, in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we need to wind up. So we need to agree for those people who are here, maybe to agree on the processes, because I can see representation from the universities. Joel has already been very clear about the Bungoma process. Albert and Lumumba are supposed to work on, and then Enoch is here representing the youth within the youth parliament. So I believe we can start by those. And also we have an apology from Lumumba. Lumumba's indicated that the 3rd and the 4th, they're looking at the 3rd and 4th, they'll be able to discuss with Albert. So we'll be able to see if they're reaching out at Masai Mara. So if they're going to be able to involve Masais, or they're going to be able to involve students, that is going to be part of their resolution. So they need to inform us in the next 2 days so that we plan and put processes in place. Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I think unless there's any other comment, so we just need to think or now have the action plan now. The way forward after this, what are the action plans? What to the next steps to make this implementable? Leave the timelines if possible.
Okay, if you realize very well that 2 people who joined us, Joel came in when they joined us. One was David, who was just left, and 2 was Cleopa. Cleopa, who are using drones for mapping and issues of robotics. So they're going to be part of the process, and they'll be appearing in some of the webinars so that to empower some of our people. David is going to give us the international touch, even to in the process where we'll be able to bring some of the keynote people, like some of the people we are working within the international circles, who will be able to share about what they're doing in their villages, because they're also part of the rural network. So we'll work a lot with David. We'll be able to report this meeting in the meeting tomorrow that we'll be having with them, so that we can have volunteers once we agree on the dates and the times. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I think that summarizes it very well. Joel, you want to have a closing remark? Joel?
Yeah, just probably to say that I'm happy to meet everyone in this forum. I am sure that we'll be able to start off in a small way, but later on again, come back and grow these projects to greater heights. All the best, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think Rapuda, unless Dr. Richard wants to say something, Albert, Enoch.
No, I think for me, just to echo what Joel said, I'm looking forward to begin, and let's go and recreate the impact, and hopefully after this initial phase, it can come back and blossom to something even bigger. And we can cascade it even further to other villages across the country.
Thank you very much, Albert. Thank you.
Okay, Chair, on just on my final one, I think after we finish the series of the process, we're supposed to have a national meeting that is supposed to open in January, which now is to, once we have consolidated all these things, how do we report back to the Internet Society and some of the membership that we are working with? So we have around January, and I think using the chat, the WhatsApp group, will be able to report that so that we can say now, people can be able to report back from their webinars. What did we achieve? What are the resolutions, so that we can be able now to report it back and also have a way forward of where we are moving to the next phase. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for getting your time to attend this meeting. Richard, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Prof. This is a very interesting meeting that somebody can speak over and over. But I also just want to say that I reading with the earlier speakers, we are looking forward to carry this initiative to a more advanced level. And as much as we are looking forward to bring technology closer to people, especially in the village, for example, where there is still low uptake on technology and integration in the activities, we shall also give it the approach where we engage the village members on better ways on which we can also be able to work with them. And that one now bring the angle of bringing along some research activities of which are advanced by Internet Society, so that we find ways, the better ways from them. And that is actually good, because it will also boost on the aspect of ownership. You know, when you bring some goodies or we take some goodies to the village, we also need the aspect of ownership. Ownership will be able to be one of the pillars for sustainability of our activities that we activate in the village. So we are looking forward to engage and recruit more people to be part and parcel of this initiative, so that the initiative can actually live beyond our time and be able to reach a bigger population. Otherwise, we shall still continue to be engaging over better ways in which Kijiji can be mapped into disadvantaged areas like rural areas, so that we can be able to be part and parcel of activating economic activity for the benefit of members who live there, and also raising the standard. Otherwise, thanks so much. I'm so glad to be granted the opportunity. I'm still looking forward to be an active participant in this particular initiative. Otherwise, thank you so much. And also, with the university coming along, the good thing is that the government have actually extended university education that has penetrated the rural areas. So we shall also be able to mobilize these university students to be able to be part and parcel of activities that surrounding the rural areas. I think that will also be able to enable Kijiji to initiative to expand more and impact positively on many lives. Thank you so much for that opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Richard. You're so grateful for that. Okay. So I think now we shall come to the end of this meeting. We shall make sure that we have the action plans and the communications from us, the next steps. Rapudo.
Okay, Daktari, please hand over the host.
Okay.
Hand over the host.
Okay.
Another sao naipotea.
That's okay.
So on a quick one, I know Joel is here and we need to see the office because I'm in the office. I'm in the office of the Internet Society. This is the office. That is the
that is
the
great.
office.
Oh,
That is
great.
the office. I've gotten
Great.
some. You can be able
Nice
to see
one.
the office. That's the office of the Internet Society. So
Beautiful.
feel free and visit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.